with a vision, and some would argue and would have discussion whether there's a difference in a vision and a mission statement. As we see it, the vision is what God sees. The mission is the work that then follows what God sees. We have a vision, but then the mission then becomes the work of God, how God moves us to work on his behalf inside under the umbrella of the vision. If God's vision is to build this community of Christ followers, the work is then the ministry that comes forward from the vision. But just as much as we as a church have a vision and have a mission as a collective, God sits us here individually, and individually God has a vision for each of our lives, and God has a mission, has work for each one of us to do. It is not simply enough for us to say that we are a Christian, that I've accepted Christ. Have you yet started to follow Christ? Because in following Christ, there is some work, there is some service, there is some commitment, there is a dedication of an entire life to him. Following after Christ, we turn over our thoughts and our thoughts and our ideals and our perspectives and our opinions. All of us belongs to him. I think one of the greatest statements or one of the greatest understandings that I've gained from these 5 years is that we as Christians, we do not make decisions. We follow decisions. It's not a matter of what should I do? How should I get out of this? But it's a matter of, God, what do you want me to do? How is God going to lead me out of this? It's not a matter of the decisions that we make. We sometimes find our shoulders burdened down with trying to make a decision. There's no decision to be made. There's a decision to be followed. As we submit ourselves to Christ, he is the one that is leading our lives. We're allowing the shepherd to shepherd us. The Lord is my shepherd, so the decisions belong to him. The Lord is my shepherd, so the opinion belongs to him. The Lord is my shepherd, so the next word out of my mouth, it belongs to him. So we have a collective vision as a church. Then we have an individual vision. We believe that each person that God has sent here, because we believe that people matter, we believe that each person that is sent here, not just who shows up, but who God sends, each person that is here, we believe, we pray is who God has sent. And as God has sent us, if the church has a vision, then those inside the church have a vision as well in connection with the vision of the church. Several of us got together yesterday and had a great discussion from the book Radical. This is our second round. And I was not sure where we were going to go after the end of the discussion. And then I asked, I said, well, where do you want to go? And they say, let's keep going. I said, Lord, have mercy. And so it was a great discussion that we had. And one of the things that we talked about is how in this book Radical, it talks about how we receive, we come into the house of God to receive, to then take what we receive and do something with it outside. We don't just simply come in and get a word because I'm here to get a word for me. We're here to get a word so that God can use us on our jobs, in our homes, on our family tree, wherever the soles of our feet shall touch. What we hear, what we receive from God here, we take out there. And so God has a mission. God has a vision for the life of every believer. If I was to put this message this morning into a sentence, it would be that a Christian purpose is to live on mission for God. The purpose of every Christian is to live on mission. You can call it the reason for your life, purpose for your life, the direction for your life. You have a purpose. God brought you into this world for a purpose. And each Christian has a specific purpose. It is not the thing that we find. It is the thing that God has for us. He created us. We did not create ourselves. He has a design for our lives, and we have to submit ourselves to it. You've heard me tell the story much over these last 5 years, and I'll tell it one more time. One more time today. I'm sure we'll come back to it next week. But at 26 years of age, I found myself on my mother and father's bed, my feet dangling off the edge of the bed because it was a bed that was made for a child, made for a teenager. And here I was as a 26-year-old. I had lost my job at that time in life. I had lost my home. I had lost my car. I had lost many of my friends. And here I was. I had to move from the northeast from the southeast up to the northeast. And here I was living back in mom and dad's house at 26 years of age. It was a complete measure of failure in my life. And it was there in that low point, in that low experience. I had been in banking, I had been in finance, all these wonderful things. And all of it had gone away because in my ego, if I can be honest with you this morning, and I will, in my ego, I saw so much in myself that I sat back one day and said, look at all that I have done, and I don't even go to church anymore. And God said, I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll take that. And deposit me right back where I started from.